And you knew, and I think you said, and you haven't shared that yet, but from 1970 to 82, I think you were a professional racer. You said you knew that Myrtle Beach was going to be the place for you. A lot of folks have only been to a couple places, not tough for them to determine, but as a racer, you'd obviously been all over, I guess, the East Coast, all over the country.
Exactly. When I was racing back in the 70s and early 80s, our races consisted of all up and down the East Coast and west over to about Alabama. It was still kind of in its infancy at the time.
Sure.
It's not near the popular sport that it is today.
Right.
Yeah, during my racing days, I always knew that I wanted to have a dealership, and didn't ever know how it was going to happen. But fortunately, after I retired from racing, I worked in other people's dealerships and learned all the aspects from turning wrenches or working in parts, sales, and general management, kind of getting the feel for what it takes to operate a facility like this.
Sure.
Then finally in 1987, took the plunge and opened up a little repair shop and and kept working and to grow it to what it is today.
So you imagine when you were a teenager, when you started racing in 70, at some point over that 12-year period, you imagine yourself owning your own dealership. Could you ever have imagined it would have turned into something like this?
Well, you know, it's kind of funny because there was an article in the state newspaper from the 70s, and they talked with me about racing. I was racing Columbia,
right.
And this was the state paper. And, and in that article, and this must have been probably 74 or something
right.
like that.
So you were 20,
I was talking about, you know, someday I want to have a shop, you know, and truly, someone asked me this not too long ago about did I ever think that it would grow into this. Well, I didn't know how big we could grow it, but I really did have this in mind.
Oh,
in other words, my intention was to grow it to be the biggest and the best we could possibly do, and we've come a long way, and we're doing okay. But but I feel like we're really just getting started, and we really in the next 5 to 10 years are really going to be able to sharpen our skills and be able to give even better customer service and teach people about our products. You know, because most all of us that work here are enthusiasts that are riders, boaters, jet skiers, whatever, and it really helps when you've got someone that actually rides the product and uses the product that you're talking to that can help guide someone that may be new into the business.
That's a great point.
And not really understand, you know, a lot of times people come in thinking they want this kind of vehicle when really what they're telling us, they would be better suited with a one that would suit their need a little better.
Right.
So we try and match the product to the customer's desire, and it's safer for them.
Oftentimes, I guess folks come in and just want to make a decision on the spot that day, but you really, if you take the time and spend more time with them, they can become an enthusiast as opposed to a one-trick pony there. I mean,
and that's the thing. In the 37 years that I've been in this industry, I've seen that happen way too many times where someone will come in, they won't learn how to ride a vehicle properly, they may get hurt on it, and then they wash their hands of it.
Yeah.
And we have such a wonderful sport. You know, if you educate yourself a little bit about it, you know, learn. If you're not a rider of a motorcycle, you can take a course and learn how to ride it properly, and it makes the sport a whole lot more enjoyable.
Oh yeah.
First of all, you're not likely going to fall or get injured if you've been taught properly, and you know the safety aspects of it. And secondly, once you get some riding time under your belt and you really get hooked on it, I mean, it's a different world out there when you're riding on a motorcycle or a jet ski or a four-wheeler. It's just a whole different world out there that you can't experience without ever actually doing it. And we want people to do it and be safe so they can have a good experience.
And send them to some good opportunities to have some camaraderie in it, some opportunities to be out in the county or in places where you've got a lot of space, open space for folks to arrive.
Right. We've also are helping trying to get some riding areas for off-road riding.
Right.
We've got a couple of tracks that we've got going here in the Myrtle Beach area that people are allowed to go out and pay $10 to ride and can really enjoy the riding aspect of it. We're trying to further that so that we'll eventually have vehicles that people can rent for someone that may want to try it and not necessarily go spend $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 to buy one of these vehicles and not know if they like it. They'll be able to come out and rent a vehicle ride it for a day or a weekend or whatever, and then kind of make more of an educated decision on if this is something that they'd like to do.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Let's get to the hardball. We got just a few minutes, Jonathan, and it is incredible. And, of course, right behind us, folks have been saw it behind Lance yesterday, and hopefully for the rest of the week, as we've got some folks in here, that Aquatrax R12 Honda, gorgeous vehicle, and it really is a vehicle. I mean, it's and of course the trailer. I think you all have donated a trailer as well.
Right. Yeah, it's a little hard to move it around without a trailer, so we make it a package for the hardball, so that whoever wins this thing will be able to hook it to their car and take it to the water. The ski is a really nice ski. Honda has a factory right here in Timmonsville, South Carolina.
Oh, yeah, sure. Here in our viewing area. That's right. Most of our viewers are in the PD.
And every single one of these Honda Aquatrax are made right there in Timmonsville.
I love it.
A lot of people don't realize that. Also in that same plant, all of the Honda four-wheelers are made right there.
Really?
So they're actually produced. You know, people know that Honda's a Japanese company.
Sure.
But Honda has quite a few American plants with thousands of American employees that actually build, produce, and they're not just assembling it. They're actually producing it, making the engines and making the crankshafts and welding the frames together and building these things from the ground up.
Have you been up and taken a tour of the Timmonsville facility?
Yes, it's a fantastic facility. A brand new Honda four-wheeler is ridden off the assembly line every 43 seconds.
Oh, come on.
Every 43. I never believed it until I saw it with my own eyes.
Every 43 seconds?
A brand new four-wheeler is ridden off the assembly line every 43 seconds.
Just for an hour or two a day. You don't mean like...
all day long.
Oh, come on.
They can produce 1,200 four-wheelers in one day up there.
Do they open that up for tours or anything?
Yes, yes. There are tours that we're actually trying to get another one set up now for our staff. We've grown our staff to 33 people now.
Is that right?
A lot of our people haven't had the opportunity to tour that facility, so we're setting up a new tour together.
Let me know when y'all do that, Jonathan. I'd love to make the trip, and maybe we can go film up there sometime. We used to be real active with the Boy Scouts and the PD and the GM at the plant at the time was on the board there, and it was fascinating interviewing him for the Hardball in Florence, talking about their at that time recent joining the community. But it is a magnificent facility, and as you say, thousands. Tens of thousands of folks, Americans, are employed nationwide by Honda all over Columbus, Ohio, and it's incredible.
Yeah, that's right.
Incredible.
They've done a great job, and a lot of things too. People don't realize the dealerships. You know, we are just one dealer with 33 families. You know, we have 33 people here, and there's 1,250 Honda dealerships throughout the country.
Wow. And
there's 1,500 Yamaha and Kawasaki. I mean, there's literally thousands of dealerships that employ literally hundreds and hundreds of people. So these metric manufacturers have done a real good job to support our economy and help build in the United States.
You mentioned 33 families, 33 folks here who have families. You've got a family as well, Jonathan. Are any of them involved in the deal in RedLine Powersports?
Yes, I have 3 sons and my wife Julie, and Julie takes care of our youngest son, Jordan, who's 11, in the 6th grade at Myrtle Beach Middle School. And then my oldest son works with us here at RedLine. He's our parts manager here. He's just back. He was in Los Angeles for the past 5 years and came back this past May. And so we're glad to have him home now. And then my second son, Dustin, has worked here a little bit. He went back to become a CPA. He graduates in May with his Master's of Accounting.
Really?
And will be a CPA, so hopefully he can help us handle the books down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, all 3 sons, hopefully Jordan, when he gets a little older, he'll be involved in the business too. So we're real pleased with what we have going on.
Absolutely. You know, folks hear the term, you talked about cycles, RedLine cycles back in '87. RedLine Powersports, that's a pretty amazing jump there.
Yes, what happened back in the 60s and 70s, we were in the motorcycle business.
Right.
When that's all we sold was motorcycles. But then as ATVs came around, the all-terrain vehicles, which are the four-wheelers of today, and then the watercraft, the personal watercraft, which most people call jet skis. Now we have the big jet boats from 15 feet up to 23 feet long with the Yamaha and the Sea-Doo jet boats. We really became more of a power sports company in our industry. Like Harley Davidson, for example, great company, great motorcycle. They're in the motorcycle business.
Right.
We have motorcycles also, but we also have watercraft and ATVs
Sure.
and boats and everything else. So it gives us a wider variety of product to sell.
What prompted this $10,000, $11,000, $12,000 donation to the American Heart Association, Jonathan?
Well, we got involved with the Heart Association probably 5 or 6 years ago.
Right.
Over the years, in our 20-year history, we've always donated product and tried to help give back to the community that supports us.
Oh, yeah.
And so we'll, give away four-wheelers, motorcycles, jet skis, whatever. And we got involved with the Heart Association, and it was just such a good feeling. I mean, everybody, like I've heard you say in the past, everybody's had someone in their family at some point with a heart disease, heart attack, or whatever.
Right.
So it affects all of us, and so it's a good way to help give back to the community. We've got great products that people love to buy, so they always bring good money at the auctions for the heart ball, and and it helps us achieve those goals of gaining the monies needed to help fight this disease.
Fight heart disease and stroke. What would this model, this Aquatrax R12, Jonathan, sell here in the showroom?
This model right here is the two-seater Honda Aquatrax R12, and this sitting on a trailer would be about $10,400.
No way.
Yeah.
$10,400.
$10,400.
That is fantastic. When you think about, of course, the links folks go to support, later this week on Friday, we've got Larry Amick with us, who you're kind enough to open up again for us to be here on Friday, who's the co-founder of Understanding Corporation, a triangle-based technology company, donating $20,000, $22,500 to the event. They've got their own reasons. You, obviously, as you say, to help fight heart disease as well as to get the word out about RedLine, but a $10,000 jet ski, tremendous gift.
It really makes you feel good. I've attended the Heart Ball now for the last 5 years, and it's a great time. And when you see and hear the stories that people get up there and talk about how they've had issues with either children or parents or relatives that had heart problems, and some of the miracles that have happened,
yes,
and the ability that the doctors have today to do the things that they do are just right. Amazing, and it's really it makes you feel good that we know that we can at least help by giving back to the community and helping learn how to fight this terrible disease.
Absolutely. Jonathan, thanks so much for being with us this morning.
Okay, Greg.
Thanks
Enjoyed
for opening your doors. Stay tuned to more Carolina People with Jonathan Formo coming up next. The date's February 17th. The event's the 13th Annual American Heart Ball. The place is Kingston Plantation. Amazing donors like Jonathan Formo and RedLine Powersports. To help get to a goal around $400,000, you've got to have donors like Jonathan. You've got to have items like that Aquatrax right behind him. $10,400. We've got to have folks in the room that can put auction bids in to drive that number up to help us reach that goal. Heart disease and stroke are the #1 and #3 killer. Give the Heart Association a call. Be a part of that night, 843-626-3939.